Hello, welcome to E-Ticket Trails. So tomorrow is the big day, moving day. I'm going to be leaving early in the morning. I'm all packed, got everything good to go. Haven't loaded any of it into the truck yet, but I thought that right now, before I have anything loaded in, would be the perfect time to show you a little bit of the tools and the recovery equipment and just the spare parts and stuff like that I've got loaded in. So we're going to start over here on the passenger side. This is where I keep all of my spare parts. So I got a spare distributor cap, some plug wires, water pump, fuel pump, got a choke cable, even though I have an electric choke. Figure it couldn't hurt to have, manual backup in here. And then I'm going to get into some tools. Tape measure, I don't know really why that's in this box, but it's there. Things that are easy to access. I've got these, they're actually valve covers that I've flipped upside down and bolted to the top of the toolbox, and my seat here sits on them as the back support for the seat bottom. And they hold, things like a ice scraper, napkins, map, air freshener, stuff like that. And then I got another one here, this little tin in the middle, just for stowing rags and stuff like that. I think there's some super glue, super glue in there. And then flares, flashlights, roadside stuff on the other side. And the other side here, I got my fire extinguisher, duct tape, got a little air compressor, a little DC air compressor here. I don't even know if this thing works, but I grabbed it because couldn't hurt to have some wrenches and screwdrivers, a spare belt, just in case you break a belt out on the road. Yes, I have serpentine belts. So stuff like that. It's about what I have in my toolboxes under the seat. And then up top, I featured these in a previous video, these little cabinet doors that I put up here for screwdrivers, safety glasses, pliers, stuff like that. These are things that I use most often up top here. These are the ones that if small things go wrong and I need a screwdriver or a pair of pliers to quickly, just get at it. And I got my multi-tool up here for wire strippers and all that on the multi-tool, and I got screwdrivers and stuff up on the other side, lots of flashlights, and just the handy tools that you need quick access to. So here I've got the toolbox in the bed of my truck. I got the high lift jack actually bolted and double nutted, so I've got the bolts coming through the back with a nut here, and then just the nut that holds the high lift jack to those bolts. So it's easy to get at. I don't need two wrenches. I can just take it off with one wrench and get easy access to it. Keeps it nice and secure. And I've got my tow bar here tucked between the toolbox and the side of the bed. It's a good place to hold my tire iron too. It holds it nice and secure. A couple of spare jugs of coolant and water and whatnot. And then inside the box, I've got my toolbox here, which I'll get to in a second. This, I love this thing. It's just a siphon pump for getting gas out of my gas can into my gas tank, so I don't have to unbracket it from the side of the truck. I can just put the siphon pump in there. I know you're not supposed to do that for static electricity purposes and all that, and there's all kinds of warnings and stuff about put the thing on the ground or take it off and pour it in, but I really don't care. I'm not that concerned about it. It's grounded to the bed, so I don't think it's really going to be an issue. So I have this for that, and it works pretty well. I actually had to replace the hose on it because it was not really gasoline friendly. This thing is the coolest, best tool I've ever had. Best thing I've ever purchased in my life. It is a 900 amp battery jump start box. Duralast, AutoZone parts. Like I said, everything I have is cheap parts, but use this thing all the time. I haven't actually had to use it since I replaced the alternator, which I'm very grateful for. Truck is charging really well, but I have this just in case. I do need to charge it up before I go, which is, incidentally, if you noticed on my windshield, I have, I'm not flipping you off there, I have charge written across my windshield in in dry erase marker, so that's going on there. And then I've got my jumper cables, just steel cable here, bits of belt and stuff like that, because leather belts come in handy. You never know when you might need it. I got a tool bag here full of wrenches and whatnot. These are just your basic pliers, wrenches, that kind of stuff. And then I've got my, this is going to be a very long video, and I don't know if it's going to let me upload it. Got my toolbox here, got my shovel, and hitch, receiver ball there. In here I've got all kinds of stuff that I really don't need, but is a good convenient place to store it. Multimeter, again, Harbor Freight. Lots of other tools that just have nothing to do with the truck, but they're in here. And I can't really get this out because it's, you know, in there. But let's see if I can get this without dropping everything. I'll show you underneath. I've got, again, just more pliers, deep sockets, stuff like that. Just things that might come in handy. It's always nice to have a pad and paper and a pen. You never know when you're going to need to exchange insurance information, stuff like that. So there you go. Those are my tool setup and what I carry with me. I'm really interested to hear what you guys keep in your toolboxes. If there's anything that you suggest I carry, what is your, you know, things that you feel that you absolutely need out on the road. I had a conversation with Scott Schiller the other day about coat hangers. Coat hangers are incredibly useful. They have all kinds of applications. They're basically baling wires, what they are. And especially if you're going camping, they're very useful. You can cook some hot dogs over a fire. So one more tool I always keep with me on my keys. Got my Swiss Army knife. Just things like that. So if you like these videos and you wanna follow the trip, I'm leaving tomorrow morning. I'm gonna be putting up probably 2 or 3 videos a day. I anticipate, maybe less, maybe more, but it's gonna be a few days out to Utah and then another day over into Colorado. So just gonna take it slow, enjoy the trip, and see what's along the way. So. We'll be hitting Moab and all of that. So like the videos, like the page, follow the page, E-Ticket Trails here on Facebook, and just tune in and enjoy the videos. Have a great one. Happy trails.